Hey, so I'm here in the forest again. It's a beautiful morning. A little bit of a rough night sleeping. I, I slept in my vehicle, an SUV, and parked kind of at an incline, so I was sliding down all night. I think I need to turn my vehicle around. Anyways, been thinking a lot about physical pain, and in my life, I've endured a lot of physical pain. Even as a child, I had eczema really bad. My toes, the toes, the skin would crack so bad you could see the bone sometimes. Little kid, asthma, horrible allergic reactions to like milk and chocolate. Got in a motorcycle accident when I was like 12. All kinds of stuff. Deal with physical pain most of my life, and I've been hearing a lot about how everything is energy. Everything is energy. So if we allow energy to flow through our body completely, there's no points that it can stop. It just flows. It just comes through and it flows. But when we have a blockage, for instance, jealousy. So we're really jealous of our sister or brother. That can lodge somewhere in our body, and now the energy can't flow through it. It hits that point. It's like a dam. And so, say it's in your neck. Do you have neck pain? Which I've unfortunately dealt with a lot. It it stays stuck, and it over time it just builds and builds, and then eventually can turn into a disease like cancer. And what I've been hearing you have to do, you have to first you have to figure out like what is this thing that I'm holding on to, and it might not even be something that you did. It could be something you picked up from your parents, a relative, a neighbor. It could be something that happened to you. And these are all things apparently we arranged prior to our incarnation here. But we have to figure out what it is that we're holding on to. Is it fear? Is it jealousy? Is it sadness? Is it grief? It could be all kinds of things. It could be lots of things that we're holding on to. And ultimately, these things stop us from being our true, authentic self. So if we're living in alignment with our purpose, and I'll tell you, I've had a hard time with finding my purpose lately. When I was younger, when I was like 20, I had it locked in. And I was a teacher, a counselor. I loved it. I was a hypnotherapist. Absolutely loved it. And I was engaged, and my fiance was killed in a car accident. And after that, I just went off the rails. And I was a single dad. And at that time, prior to that, I didn't really have much physical pain. I was in good shape. Prior to kind of living in alignment, I did have a lot of physical pain, and it kind of went away. And so I can attest that it makes sense. It makes sense that I was holding on to stuff. But when I lost her, I found myself alone, a single dad of a 7-year old girl, and it was just rough. And shortly, about a year after that, I started having the physical pain again, and it just kept getting worse and worse. And I can definitely attribute to the decisions I made. I wasn't living my authentic self. I was living in survival. That's what it was. I was living in survival. I can definitely say that. And so I'm I'm really making a conscious effort to figure out the things that I'm holding on to, whether they're things that I picked up from my family, because my dad he has the same exact issues, spinal issues that I've been told I have. And so it's got to be genetic in the sense that we're holding on to the same energy, the same blockages. So I'm just going to work on figuring out what it is I'm holding on to and then release it. And then that physical pain hopefully can uh, also go away. And it's taught me a lot. I've really had to slow down. I think that's the biggest thing I've had to figure out. And that's why I get out here in nature, because you have to slow down. There's no rush. Like, there's nothing to really do. Keep the fire going, keep my dog happy, you know, fix food. It's pretty simple, pretty simple. And so it gives you lots of time to think. So, yeah, those are my thoughts for today.